Well boys, it's official. Boost season is upon us. I consider anything like 60 or below boost season, and we are chilling at 50 degrees right now. Time to start driving all of the boosted cars and hauling ass. Today I want to, if we have time, I want to run down sloppy 85 in this car. A couple weeks back we did this XD twin disc clutch. Took a while to get broken in, about 750 miles. We are finally past that break-in period. The whole time we've been running on pump gas. She don't make a ton of sauce on pump gas. I want to go back to the 85 today, load up the new map, which is a 14 PSI map. I know a ton of people don't go anywhere near that on a stock motor, but quite frankly, I don't really care if this thing blows up because I want it faster and to build the motor anyway. So yeah, before we do that, I'm headed to the shop. I want to get some primer laid down on the STI hatch project we've been working on, and we got to let that dry for a while before we start sanding it out. I think they recommend 24 hours just so that primer can shrink up. So when you sand it, and I'll explain when we get to the shop. First step in hauling ass. Go off all the way. There we go. This thing breaks loose so easy now. This clutch is insane. She grabs hard. Sick. This thing on E on 14 pounds should be right about 400 wheel. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but it's gonna be fun. Let's go paint. Let's go lay some primer down and then we can rip this thing. Initial plan was to spray primer and honestly the whole entire car outside. But being that it's 50 degrees, it's a little bit chilly to be spraying outside. Shop's currently 61, still a little bit chilly to be spraying. Even, I don't know, I'm sure it'd be fine to spray primer when it's this cold because it doesn't really matter, you're sanding it down anyway. But I'm gonna officially turn the heater on for the first freaking time. Winter's here, boys. Winter is pretty much here. I'm not gonna set up the booth to spray this car. We're just doing primer right now. So I'm gonna go around the entire car, make sure we don't have any other small dents we need to take care of, but every single area that we sanded down to feather out that clear, this is all gonna need some filler primer. That right there, that section, anywhere we had sanded down clear, the entire roof is gonna be sprayed out with filler primer. And then this quarter panel section, door, that there, up there, quite a bit of areas that are gonna need some filler primer on this thing, but it's okay. To make sure we don't have any more dents in this thing, I'm just gonna grab my rag over here that is full of wax and grease remover. I keep reusing this thing. Wax and grease remover is a little bit expensive, so I just put it in a bag. I'm gonna go through, wipe down the entire car, make sure we don't have any more dents. Using this kind of seems to add like a clear coat shine to it so you can really see any other dents that may be in the car. So there were still a handful of areas that needed a touch of glaze, a couple on that pillar up there, a few on the door, and just a couple on this side as well. So as soon as that stuff cures up, sand it 180, 220, 320, and then this thing should be ready for some primer. As far as masking the car goes, I'm probably just gonna mask off the windows. I really don't care to get primer on the windows. The rest of the car, don't really care because it's gotta be completely rescuffed with 320 anyway. So maybe I'll just start masking windows off now while we wait for this glaze to cure up and harden. Everything is masked off that we wanted to not get overspray on. Every door handle cup had a bit of peel and clear, so I went and took care of all of that. All of our glaze is hardened. Let's run through, get that stuff knocked down, and we can shoot some filler primer onto this car. All right, so we got all of the areas sanded down. I'm gonna run through with a wax and grease remover, clean up all of the areas that need to be primered. So I'm gonna do all the spot primer areas first on the sides of the car, and then last thing I'll do is the roof. So let's go get this thing knocked out. We're gonna do 2 coats of this filler primer, and then we gotta let it cure for a while, probably 24 hours, and we can get it sanded down. All right, we got everything covered that needed to be sprayed out. Let it dry at least overnight. If it takes longer than that, we're gonna let it dry longer than that. But yeah, this is all the areas that needed some primer. So this is what we did. So much work going into this thing. Sheesh. All right, let's pull her in the shop. Hop in the FRS. I'm gonna go fill up on E85, provided that tank is low enough. Car's on flex fuel, so if it's like E70 or something, we'll be all right. Gas light didn't pop on, but I hope we get at least like E70-ish in this thing, and we should be good. Seems to always take a little bit to update, but app is currently showing. Shows 19% right now. It's a little bit off, I would say. We're gonna drive the car, wait for it to update. We also have to load up the new map onto this thing as well. Just ran back to the house to grab Bobby, and look what showed up. This is like a 30 by 20 paint booth, or spray booth. Should be a little bit bigger than the little 4x6 one we had last time. I'm excited to see how this clutch feels, like actually beating the shit out of this car. I'm excited, very excited. Bobby just broke something. What'd you drop? You dented it? We have to take this because we're turning it up and sending it to the goddamn moon. Okay. But I can't get it in my frickin' email. Some bullshit.